When I was in 3rd grade, I got a school assignment and it looked sort of like this. And the assignment was to draw and explain what you want to be when you grow up. So the teacher just given out all the papers to all the kids in the class, and then the room went quiet. 30 minutes later, now it's time for each and everyone to come out and present the masterpiece. Can you guess what most of the boys and girls wanted to be? And just to remind you, this is like more than 20 years ago. So as it turned out, lots of the boys want to be soldiers and policemen. And most of the girls, they wanted to be teachers and nurses. And then there was my turn. I told the class that I wanted to be a wizard. And just to remind you, this is way long before Harry Potter was popular. I can remember vividly that I was so proud to present, but everybody laughed and laughed at me. And the teacher was so angry, her face turned red, and she was just angry that I was not really paying attention to the assignment. But in fact, I put a lot of thought into it. What I wanted to tell to the class was that I would like to grow up doing something magical, something interesting, making the impossible possible. But I just had no idea what career option would enable me to do that. Fast forward 6 years later, I was in high school. And this time, the task was much more challenging. I got to pick the major in college and thought about my future career. I've heard the advice that you should find your passion and do what you love, and that made a lot of sense. But the problem was, I didn't know how to find my passion and where to find it. In fact, I thought if one day I know how to find my passion, I would come back and tell all my friends about it. But at that time, I was 15, I had no idea, so I was just thinking and looking at all possibilities. And I chose the career that is closest to being a wizard, which is to be an animator. And just to be more specific, my goal was to be the Oscar-winning character animator in Hollywood. And I was serious. With that dream in mind, since I was in high school at Saathit Pathumwan, I did everything I can to make that dream a reality. I took all the exams and studied very hard to get me into one of the best schools in Los Angeles and work in Hollywood. When I got there, I took all the classes that are animation related, worked really hard, built up my portfolio, and in the end, I landed at an internship opportunity at one of the best animation studios in the world. And that time I thought, man, I was on the right path to pursue my passion. But there was one tiny problem. I started to realize I didn't like making animation. I like watching cartoon. In fact, even as an adult, I like to wake up with a coffee and cartoon. So don't tell my mom about it. But making cartoons is a totally different story. It is a painstaking process. It's very detail-oriented. And I could do it as a hobby, but probably not a career. At that point, I totally was lost and devastated. In the end, I spent all my blood, sweat, and tears for the last 7 years just to pursue this goal, just to realize that it was all illusion. And just to make things a little worse, that time was one of the worst times in the US economy. I couldn't find a job. I started to doubt this passion career thing, whether it's true or not. Maybe I should have listened to my mom, studied finance, and get a stable job at bank and financial-related institutions. I was stressed out, so I went home and I watched TV. And on the TV that night, it happens to be a TV show from E! Entertainment. It was about celebrity gossip. It's like TV pool for Americans. It was about entertainment news, the content was so entertaining. What could be more entertaining than celebrity gossip, right? But what was more interesting to me at that night was not the content, but there were all the graphics that was flying on and off the screen. I thought it was so cool, sophisticated, and I was really interested in them. But it was just a TV show, so I didn't really thought much about it. Until the next day, I came into the school and I checked my email. And in the email, it said, motion graphic design intern at E Entertainment. And I soon realized that this is the job that do all the graphic I saw last night. But I stop and think, on one hand, this is interesting, but on the other hand, it wouldn't help me achieve my career goal as the Hollywood Oscar-winning thing, animation in Hollywood. So I was like, what should I do? But on that day, I took a chance. I took a chance to do something that I truly interested in, even though I had no idea where it would lead me. As it turned out, it was one of the best decisions I've made in my entire life. For the next 7 years, I became a motion graphic designer, working for big companies, small companies, everywhere in the US. And 7 years later, my interest has shifted a little bit. I didn't just want to make things that people can watch. I want to make things that people can use, something that could be useful to the world. So for another 7 years, I become a user experience designer, basically the person that make the digital products a little easier and delightful to use. And just recently, I came back to Thailand, started my own startup business in healthy food delivery. So as you can see, for more than 15 years, I've been doing different things, but I can tell you one thing. I've been very, very passionate about every single thing I've done with my life. So now I would like to revisit the question I had in high school. How does one find his or her own passion? And I think today I found the answer. And the answer is, you do not find your passion, but you have to grow it. Passion is not something you find, but it is something to grow. And you grow your passion by being true to who you are and just do everything based upon that. Passion is kind of like flowers. If you would like to have your very own flowers, you cannot go out and find them. You have to grow them. If you are going out and trying to find flowers today, you will find fake flowers, maybe dead flowers, or other people's flowers, not yours. If you would like to grow your very own flowers, you have to start with a seed. Understand the seed that you have, what kind of seed you have. Then you put the right amount of water, sunlight, and nutrients, and over time that seed will grow into a tree, and then flowers blossom. And passion works kind of the same way. You do not go out and find it, but just through the actions, you grow your passion that way. So today, whether you have found your passion or not, I would like to leave you with some few tips and a framework so that you can grow your own passion or maybe systematically help others grow theirs. And I call this framework RED. RED is a symbol for passion. And RED frameworks start with an R, respect yourself. After all, what do I mean by respecting yourself? What I mean by respect yourself, it means to truly understand and see value of who you are. And who you are means your beliefs and interests, your strengths, weaknesses, your identity, and your own life situation. Whatever those things are, you should truly understand them and see value in them. Whether you are interested in art, science, you're interested in knitting, in dogs, cats, or bamboo, whatever those things are, you should be very proud of it and honor them, pay attention to them. Your strengths and weaknesses. You are good at something, but you are not so so good at other things, that's totally okay. People are born with superpowers, but also some blind spots. Just embrace it, work with them. Your identity, where you're from, what provinces you're from, what countries you're from, what's your family background, what's your history, what's your gender, what's your religion, whatever those things are, you should be very proud of them. Respecting yourself is the foundation of building and growing your passion, because without them, you will not be in the driver's seat of your own destiny. Second is to explore and experience. I've talked to many individuals, especially in Thailand, and what I found was that many people, especially the young one, would say, "Hey, Darren, I had no particular interests and beliefs, and I didn't know what my strengths and weaknesses are. I had no idea where to start." And I would tell you, my friend, you should start by exploring and experiencing the world. You cannot just expect to wake up, do the same thing over and over again, and then expect something to change. You have to explore and experience. Surround yourself with interesting and inspiring people and talk to them. Read or watch content that would make you become smarter, like TED Talks, for example. Or just kind of talk to the people that will give you something you never known before. Travel to different places. Explore and experience kind of help you get the information into your lives so that you can grow your passion better. And the third step is to make things happen. You gotta do things. Once you understand yourself, you respect yourself, you have a lot of information, now you have to make things happen. You cannot just sit there and expect passion to grow out of a thin air. Have a hobby, doing something that you have long wanted to do but have been procrastinated all day long. Maybe do some charity, have some side projects. Nowadays, we have technologies. You can bake cookies in your kitchen and sell it online. Or you can write blogs and have thousands and maybe billions of fans. Make YouTube, do Facebook Lives. So many things that you can do based on the things that you're truly interested in. It doesn't have to be grand. It just has to be something that you drew from your own belief and interest. And last but not least is to stop and reflect. I cannot tell you how many people I've met in my life, the CEO of one of the biggest companies in the world, down to the clerks in Thai companies. Many people have been spending years and years working on something they thought are their destiny, something they believe in. They never stop and reflect whether you are still on the right path. Kind of like myself, as a person that pursued the animation dream. I never stop and reflect whether that's still something I wanted to do. So once in a while, you have to stop, reflect, whether what you're doing today is still aligning with your core values and beliefs and interests. And the cool thing about this framework is that it doesn't have to go with 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can start from anywhere. If you have no idea where to start, maybe you can stop and reflect the things that you have done in the past. Maybe just starting to come up what are you good at, what you're not so good at, and learn from your past experiences. That will help you understand and respect yourself. Maybe do something that is interesting that you have never done before. So today, I think a lot of you here and also at Kasetsart watching live today are students. So I beg you, please, don't just sit there in the classroom. Go out doing activities, talking to the people, interviewing people that are already in the jobs that you wanted to do. Have some side projects. If you are a professional and you've been working just every day, don't just wake up doing the same thing over and over again. If you are an engineer, talk to the finance people. Just learn what she has to say. If you are an accountant, maybe you learn what a designer has to do every single day. Just do different things, have some side projects. Pick up that new skills that you have always long wanted to do but have been procrastinating all day long. Maybe you can hang out with some friends or reach out to the people in LinkedIn that you always wanted to talk to but never have a gut to do. travel to different places and learn about different cultures. And traveling doesn't have to be expensive. Just right now, I'm having my own food delivery business, and sometimes I deliver to new neighborhood in Bangkok I've never been before, and I just learned so much from that. And that will help you gain perspective. But in the end, just listen to your heart, because after all, it's already know what you wanted. I truly believe that each and every one of us has something unique and very special within. It's just a matter of time, matter of doing the right action to activate and amplify it. And then the passion will grow from that. But you know what was more important than passion? I'm telling you this because the process of growing passion is also the exact same process that would help you become happy every single day. After all, happiness is the ultimate success in life. So whatever you're doing right now, please, I beg you, don't spend your time chasing something that you thought would bring you happiness when you can start being happy today, doing the things that you have true belief and interest in. Do not spend your time proving yourself to others or anybody because you're already fine the way you are. And instead, let us put all the energy to discover your own strengths, weaknesses, grow your own passion, and then contribute to yourself and the society. Imagine how beautiful the world would be with all the passion blossoms. And I, for one, just cannot wait to see what your flower would be. Thank you very much for your time.